Mike, thanks for joining and giving us your feedback on your experience with Vivant. Love to learn a little bit more about you. Before we start, like to get a better understanding of who you are, how many stores you have, how long you've been with us, etc.
So, my name is Mike. I'm the director of operations, um, 16 locations. I believe we've been a little over 3 years now, going a little over 3 years.
Perfect. So, walk me through what life was before you came a customer of ours in terms of internet phone outages and issues you were having in the store.
Yeah, we would always have the outages. 90% of the time, they would happen during lunch, during your peak times. And we would always try to explore options with our internet companies. Hey, do you guys have do you have a backup system? Of course, they always say yes, which the only issues with those are ones that you guys don't currently have, which is what they did have, and that is if you go out, you just go up to the box, hit the switch, swap the cables, and it was like, okay, so I got a 19-year-old manager going up into the cabinet, swapping out a cable because his internet's out. That sounds complicated. Then he has to swap it back, which no one was streamlined. That was one of the biggest hiccups in trying to get your internet provider to do it.
Got you. So, it was a total manual process, and the manager had to figure that out.
So we never went with it. It just sounded too complicated. And then came the convention. And that's where, went to that dinner and basically changed our whole way of doing business. Um, after that, it was my first question asked was, so does it automatically kick on and kick off? Yes. Well, that was one of the beauties of it. Not knowing, went into it just knowing that much of it and not understanding fully the customer service side of it, which I don't think anybody ever explained fully because how many people actually, we all have different companies we use and no one believes the customer service side of it. Oh yeah, well, it's great for you but it's terrible for this person, which was probably one of the best attributes so far of having you guys is the customer service side of it, taking care of the customer. Yeah, starting from the rep, you know David's been amazing. Like your reps are, it's whenever we have a problem, they're available. You make the phone calls into customer service, they answer. You're never on hold for 30-40 minutes, and they take care of everything. They set up the appointments. If a tech needs to come out, they do everything. It's one call. You're not on line with Spectrum or your internet provider for an hour waiting for somebody. They just take care of everything. So it's really, if you don't have it already, you do need to get it, and you won't be disappointed.
Yeah, that's impressive. I appreciate that. That means a lot. We put in a lot of energy, focus in ensuring that we take care of you guys. And one thing that I tell everybody, as you know, David and John both were former franchisees of Jimmy John, so they understand the complexities and the young guys that are out in the field, they don't have the time, they don't have the knowledge to be able to switch these things around, and we don't want to use the store manager or the store employee as an IT person. So I always tell my staff, treat these restaurants as if they're our own, and we own the restaurants. You're just helping us solve our own problems, and I'm
Yeah.
really thrilled to hear that it's actually making it to the front line. I'm curious in terms of the impact of these outages prior to us. What did that look like? Dollar revenue loss, labor loss, frustration of employees. What all happened when you lost that connectivity?
Well, old style Jimmy John's, way back, you'd have your crash kit, and you could take cards and all that other stuff. But with all the different data breaches and stuff, people aren't willing to just, oh yeah, here, swipe my card on your card reader and you'll enter it manually later. That's not what people want. So when you have an entire system wide outage of 2-3 stores in the middle of lunch, in one day you could be talking about a loss of $4,000 in sales. And the impact of that, like I said, either always happens at the wrong time, on a weekend, or when it's just terrible. So I've had stores that have outages. We've been on backup with you guys for a day and a half. Imagine what that looks like in far as sales. The employees couldn't be at work. You have limited employees that day because of it, and so it's been a total huge game changer. And it's you don't imagine until you really have it. How big of a change it makes. Peace of mind is really, you know,
Interesting. Okay, so that brings up a good point. If you had to describe the services to a fellow restaurateur, how would you describe it to them? So someone's on the fence and they're not sure exactly, will this solve my problem? Will it not solve problem? Will the promise, because it's a big bold promise that we guarantee 100% uptime. Like, we don't let that restaurant go down. And our promise to you is it's unacceptable to lose $1 of revenue because internet, phone, Wi-Fi outages. So if they think that's too good to be true, what would you tell them?
you would think that until you have it. So the biggest thing is, here's how it starts. You like your service provider you have right now. No one wants to swap. No one wants to switch providers, right? It's okay. You get to keep your provider. You just have somebody managing that provider for you, managing your services. Second thing is, not only is it that detailed, but if you were to call to have something to issue, these tech support people that you call on the phone, they know exactly what color wire is plugged in anywhere in your system in that cabinet. They have their own guys that come out and do it. They can walk you step by step. It's 100%, and I never have an issue. And it is. I know it's too good to be true until you have it. Then you'll be telling the next franchisee, no, it's too good to be true, but it really is. And that's one of the biggest game changers with this, 100%.
Yeah, you're right. Because we color code all of our cables because of that reason. Like red cable here, yellow cable there, green cable there, purple cable there. We do that intentionally just to make it easier for our support staff, because we don't want you to be on the phone for an hour. Because if you're on the phone for an hour, you lost an hour, we lost an hour. And again, why do that when you can resolve it in 5 minutes when you know the color of
Yep.
the cable? Mike, last question. A fellow restaurateur or another restaurant owner that is in the same shoes, in the same situation that you were 3 years ago, dealing with all these problems. Obviously, we know that restaurant business is a tough space. You have high food costs, high labor costs, the margins are shrinking. It's a tough business to be in, and every dollar lost on the top line because of these problems negatively and severely impacts the bottom line. What would you tell them?
Just honestly, just do it. It's the not only the peace of mind, but it's somebody else. It's our time is worth so much these days. And if I'm able to do something else or be in a store rather than being on the phone for an hour, or an employee being on the phone for an hour, or being down for a day, half a day, 2 hours, a storm, whatever it may be, it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. It's somebody else that's looking out for you, that's been in the business, that knows what we're looking for. And if you don't do it, you'll be doing it later on down the road. So that's what I'd say. It's been amazing. It's been great. Everything. It's not even that the product speaks for itself, but it's the team behind the product that honestly keeps me going with it. It's the service that you get, the reps that they're involved, and I think it's not only the expectations that we as consumers expect out of the product, but I think it's also deep down what the company expects to give to their customer, and that's the biggest difference. Sometimes you may think it doesn't matter if I got five, if you have 5 locations, 100 locations, you're going to get that top-notch service no matter what. And that's been the biggest thing for me is the great customer service. No matter who's on the phone or the rep or who you get over the phone, it's the knowledge and just wanting to make the customer happy no matter what. And the lengths they go, the emails, the calls, the follow-up calls, follow-up emails just to make sure that everything's great is really one of the biggest things that you don't get out of a lot of companies these days.
Amazing. I appreciate your honest feedback, and I really appreciate the shout out to all the team members. They'll see this video, and I'm sure they'll be thrilled to hear from you guys instead of us constantly saying that internally.